It's been a long time, but finally I've conjured up enough time to bring you another video game review. This time I'll be looking at X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition, which was developed by Raven Software of Marvel Ultimate Alliance and X-Men Legends fame, while being produced by Activision. It is a movie tie-in with the film of the same name. It follows the major plot elements of the film, with the two main settings being Wolverine's mission in Africa, which led to his departure from Super Black Ops Team X, and Wolverine's revenge against Victor Creed, aka Sabretooth, for the death of his lover Kyla Silverfox, which leads to the bonding of adamantium to his bones and another vendetta against William Stryker for misleading him as to why he wanted to help him in the first place. The game will constantly switch between the two settings as the game progresses. Although the game is based on the film, it does not restrict itself and involves enemies and elements not seen in the film, such as Bolivar Trask and the Sentinels. In what is an obvious statement, you play as Wolverine in this game. What you might not have expected is that they have finally discovered the formula that lets you actually feel like you're playing as Wolverine. The controls, while despite not adding anything to the third-person beat-em-up genre, are solid and offer a wide variation of attacks to unleash upon your enemies. As the game goes on, you unlock new attacks by leveling up. The variation of enemies do force you to change your attacks at times, so it's not going to be an easy one-button mash. It is still simplistic, however, and you will be able to adapt amazingly. The game also throws in Wolverine's rapid healing factor, which allows you to take huge amounts of abuse before keeling over, if you ever do. You can recover from everything. On a more negative side, the platforming elements, which rarely appear, are nowhere near as polished as the rest of the game, and the boss fights are just too easy, being the fact that you can just regenerate everything quite quickly. This is with the exception of the final boss fight, where if you fall off a ledge, which you will do many times, it will repeat from a checkpoint that is set way too far back. But overall, the gameplay is solid. The graphics vary from good to okay in this game. The likeness of Hugh Jackman is extremely good, and the other main characters that appear in this game are not far behind. Most of the generic enemies are just that in this game, and only have a few forms, leading to the reappearance of many familiar faces. The game is also very brutal, and earns its adult rating with honours. This is not a bad thing, however. Deep down at heart, you get the feeling that the film should have been this violent, and they would have been a better film if they had been. When a quick kill is activated in this game, it looks good, and there is several different types of each enemy. The levels look pretty normal, and do not stretch the bounds of imagination very much. The jungle is a jungle, and the labs are labs. The sound work on this game could have had some work. None of the music's memorable, and the only voiceover work that's worth noting is that of Hugh Jackman's, who does a stand-up job. The others sound like they've just read their scripts and then took their paychecks and left. Let's review the bad points of this game. Boss fights are a complete letdown and only come across as minor inconveniences to your progress. Considering Wolverine's healing powers and ability to deal out mass amounts of damage, they could have made them tougher. But because they haven't, you'll burn through them way too fast. Platforming is an irritation in this game, and although it only comes in small quantities, you'll feel cheated by the poor programming, and because the checkpoints are set too far back, it's really irritating. This game at heart is only a one-trick pony, and that trick is it's a violent game based on a not-so-violent film. The voice acting in this game is poorly executed and leads to a really unprofessional feel when playing through it. In addition, the level design was not very interesting and could have been done a lot better considering they had the whole Marvel X-Men universe to pull from. Despite being repetitive, the game always manages to stay enjoyable in the way Stubbs the Zombie did. It's enough to see you through the game once or twice. The parts that weren't in the movie but were added into the game did not feel tacked on or forced in, unlike some movie tie-in games. You actually wished some of these parts were in the film. As mentioned earlier, Hugh Jackman does a stand-up job as Wolverine. I would hope that if they make a video game of the next Wolverine film, Jackman will be available to reprise the role once again. The regeneration effect in this game is really cool to watch. It's fun to see your body get blown to pieces, only to see it regrow. The amount of moves in this game are cool, and they add a lot of variation to your attack. X-Men Origins Wolverine is an easy but fun game while it lasts. It really attempts to give you the full Wolverine experience, and as far as movie tie-ins go, it's not a bad attempt. It's definitely worth a play through. If I was forced to give it a score, I would give X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition 7 out of 10. That's it for now, and until I review another video game, I'll see you then.